I just love the energy, like truly. Already the excitement, the laughters is just making me really want to be here. My name is Raj Mukherjee, and I lead product development for our marketplace products. And it's great to be here at Dallas. And for those of you who are watching from wherever you are in the world, thank you for joining us. Now, we know that your hiring challenges remain the same. It's too manual, too slow, too hard to find quality candidates, and you have too many systems to deal with. And we have been very busy in trying to address these big challenges with the goal of making the hiring process simpler, faster, and more human for you and for our job seekers. Now, yes, we have scale. We think we're in the best position to make real progress in solving these big problems that we face. According to Breezy HR's Source of Hire report, Indeed's global two-sided marketplace, the one that Chris talked about, is delivering more hires to employers than all other platforms combined. Every job posted or aggregated, every search made by a job seeker or by you, the employers, every application sent, every interview completed, and every hire that is made through our platform, all of that data feeds into our AI matching engine. And I know there are companies out there who are saying they're building AI. But let's be very clear. AI requires huge amounts, I mean huge amounts, of extremely high quality data. Quantities that are not easily available and quantities that are not at the scale that we are talking about with Indeed. Let's talk about that. We collect 320 terabytes of data per day, and we're growing that. You might be like, what does that mean? So let's put that in perspective. You could store over 1 trillion Word documents with 320 terabytes of space. Enough to write the equivalent of 1 billion novels every single day. That's the scale that we're talking about. So with our AI-powered matching, you can take the details from job description and automatically make candidate recommendations for your jobs. Why? This ultimately saves you the time that you would have otherwise spent searching for those candidates. And matching delivers amazing results. Matched candidates that you invite to apply, this is where human judgment comes in, are 17 times more likely to apply to your jobs than if job seekers found your jobs on their own. You heard me right. It's 17 times more likely. And we are putting this matching technology, the one that I just talked about, the one that you heard from Chris earlier, this matching technology is put together, and it's being spread across our entire portfolio of products. Earlier this year, we launched a new product called Smart Sourcing. You had previewed it last year. For those of you who are here, we launched it globally. And what we are finding is amazing, amazing, great candidate search and great recommendations in one consolidated interface, all of them in one place. And we call this new experience Smart Sourcing, and it went live in April. So let's take a closer look. Let's do a demo. So here we are. We have Roberta. She's a recruiter. She's looking for a nurse, a registered nurse, a role that is very hard to fill. Those of you in healthcare, you know this. Her company uses Workday as their ATS, and they have connected it to Indeed, so we can see all their jobs live on Indeed. Roberta selects the registered nurse position automatically, like literally, just like that. Indeed produces a list of high-quality matched candidates that she can contact. She likes one of the candidates, clicks on the profile to learn more. She clicks on Candidate Highlights. And just like that, Indeed produces an AI-generated summary of the quality candidate's profile, including their skills, qualifications, and possible gaps in their experience, which I know you also look for. Liking what she sees, Roberta decides to message this candidate. She sees a generate button at the bottom and clicks on that. And Indeed uses AI to automatically draft a customized message, a personalized message for this candidate, taking all their information and personalizing it. But like anyone in this room would do, we are humans, we like to make tweaks. So she clicks regenerate, and a menu pops up, and she can rewrite this note. She can make this shorter, she can make this more elaborate, she can make this more formal or more casual, whatever she wants. But whichever option she chooses, she can always edit whatever the AI produces. So it's exactly what she wants. And this is really important. She is always in control, not the AI. She is always in control. And so after sending the message, she goes back to her list of matched candidates again. Now you just saw this whole process. It took a couple of minutes. I'm told by people who do this for a living, it can take anything between 30 minutes to sometimes a couple of hours to draft a really good personalized message to a candidate that you want to outreach. That thing, with AI's help, just a couple of minutes. So, with every second counting, because we're talking about a nursing role, and this is a very competitive job placement, Roberta can receive a response from candidates while on the go through the Indeed Connect Employer mobile app. I know some of you have it on your phones. By the way, employers who use messaging via the Indeed Connect mobile app, you are going to make 41% more hires. So that's the whole story. Now, in terms of how all of this connects with your systems, Chris talked about this in the morning. Smart sourcing, the product that I just demoed, it also integrates with your ATSs. We have integrated with Workday and iCIMS, and there are many other ATSs we are working to integrate on right now. And in fact, Chris talked about 300 plus ATSs that we connect our jobs with. You can imagine a world where many of those ATSs will also connect seamlessly with smart sourcing. And that's what we are working on right now. Now, all of the functionality I showed, everything that I showed, is live right now inside smart sourcing. And customers who are using it, they're absolutely loving it. Like truly, they're absolutely loving it. So let's talk about what customers are saying. On day one, clients report the results right away. More than half of the positive connections or the positive outcomes you get within the first day. I want to let that sink in. First day, you're getting more than half of the positive responses you need. And not just that, the vast majority of users agree that smart sourcing helps them save time in finding qualified candidates. In fact, smart sourcing saves employers an average of 6 hours per week in time spent on recruiting tasks. I'll also let that sink in. That's almost a day per week that you get back, literally, by using smart sourcing. So, we're talking about AI and match candidates inside of smart sourcing. But what about sponsored jobs? We're going to apply all of this goodness into sponsored jobs too. So let's take a closer look at that. In a free or unsponsored job, which many of you use, applications are driven primarily by job seeker preferences. Job seekers apply to anything that interests them in their search. Now, if you were to sponsor, if you came into Indeed and sponsored that same job, it gets a boost in visibility, giving it more exposure to more job seekers. And through AI-driven recommendations, this is what Chris was talking about. Through AI-driven recommendations, we encourage relevant job seekers to apply to your sponsored jobs. What this does, giving you higher volume of more qualified candidates. Now, in terms of the actual value you get, it is quantifiable, it's measurable. When we think about sponsored jobs, it gives clients 5 times as many positive outcomes, which includes hires and interviews as compared to your free jobs. So it does work. Now, that's what we have today. Now, in the near future, you will be able to tap into 2 very big improvements we're making. And I'll go through it one by one. First, let's talk about enhanced targeting. One thing we have learned by talking to all of you and by the innumerable experiments that we run, quality is extremely subjective. Quality can mean very different things to very different people. That's just reality. Now, that's why we are giving you more control over who we are matching with your open roles based on your specific preferences. Using data from job seekers and more detailed job information, we can ensure you only pay for candidates who meet your minimum qualifications, meaning more candidates who fit your criteria and fewer who don't. So let's go back to our previous example. Roberta's search for the registered nurse. We're talking about Wavewood Healthcare in Los Angeles, an enormous city with over 20 square miles and multiple zip codes. Commuting across the city can take over an hour. With enhanced targeting, Roberta can target and only pay for candidates who are local to the area and also meet the basic criteria for the job, which is a nursing license. So this new system that I'm talking about around enhanced targeting, this is constantly learning what works and what doesn't, and ultimately providing you guidance on how to hire the best talent possible with the targeting criteria. Now, this might seem simple. I understand you're like, oh, that's simple. But it's supposed to be simple, but more importantly, it's supposed to actually deliver great results, and it does. In our early testing with our pilot customers, sponsored jobs with candidate targeting are 47% more likely to result in a hire, and we're just beginning. Now, we are also introducing that same match candidates that I showed as part of smart sourcing into our sponsored jobs, same matching technology. And we are starting to test this in our hosted jobs. So this means for all of you, AI is going to start to recommend candidates the moment you post a job. You don't have to wait for candidates to apply. They will just show up right then and there with our AI doing the work for you. Now, as with all of these enhancements, the more you engage with our matching and targeting capabilities, the smarter our AI gets, and the better it performs for you. So as Chris mentioned earlier, that ladder that he showed, moving up the ladder from free to sponsored to a product where you have match candidates as part of your story, that delivers much, much better results. So in the end, our goal is very simple. Truly, it's very simple, to deliver better quality candidates, quality that you control more, and save you time in hiring. Now, of course, all of this innovation that I'm talking about, it ultimately starts with you. Truly, it ultimately has to be in your service. And so that's why we spend a lot of time with our customers understanding and learning about the challenges that you face every single day, so we can together, and I mean it truly, together, solve these problems and ultimately build a better work for everyone. So today, I'm pleased to introduce 2 clients, the real heroes, who live and breathe Indeed and hiring. Together, they have hired over 37,000 people last year. Please welcome to the stage Becky Smith, VP of Talent at MGM Resorts, and Jessica Manussi, Senior Director of Talent Acquisition at TrueGreen. All right, this is the most fun part of the presentation. So, Jessica, I know you just got seated, so hot seat question for you. To start off, how would you describe the current state of hiring at TrueGreen?
So TrueGreen is a bit unique just because of the seasonal aspect of our business. So far this year, we've hired about 17,000 people, and most of that hiring actually occurs in the first 5 months of the year. So, we have a need to drive a very high applicant status. When I first got to TrueGreen in 2021, we were receiving about 130,000 applicants a year and contacting every single one of those applicants. And if we liked them, we were likely giving them an offer just because we needed the people. But I'm happy to say this year we already received over 436,000 applicants, and that has allowed my team to be a lot more selective in the people that we're talking to, the people that we're making offers to. So it's been really positive. I feel like the market has opened up quite a bit for us.
Becky, same question for you. What's the current situation at MGM Resorts?
Sure. At MGM Resorts, we hire about 20,000 people annually at our resorts and casinos in the United States. The bulk of those positions are high volume, so about 40% of those positions are in roles like security, food and beverage, casino, and Indeed's been a great partner for us in that they're able to provide us with a job seeker who's actually ready to work. That's been really valuable for us as the hospitality industry was hit pretty hard by the pandemic and in some ways is still recovering. So for us, it's really high volume all the time.
High volume. Well, let's talk about that, Jessica. We have a lot of quantity. I understand that you get a lot of applications, but I'm curious, especially given what we just discussed. How do you define quality in hiring, and what steps do you take to ensure that you attract the right quality candidates?
So quality is extremely important in our roles because it's beyond the basic skill set, but really we're wanting to attract candidates that are going to stay with us long term. It's imperative to our business for people to want to come back year over year. So one of the things that was really a game changer for us was partnering with Indeed on providing market data for our pay. That allowed my team to be able to have intelligent conversations with our hiring managers and talk about, are we being competitive in the market? And really allowed us to position ourselves better in a lot of the markets where we weren't getting good quality candidates. So, about 84% of our applicants actually come from Indeed, and 68% of our hires came from Indeed this year, which is huge. So
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for using Indeed, and thank you for that the results just work this way. Well, I'll turn it over to you, Becky, and given the competitive nature of the Las Vegas market, how has MGM Resorts leveraged Indeed to differentiate itself from other competitors in such a competitive market?
Indeed has really helped us to streamline our processes, specifically in the hiring event space. At MGM, we hold weekly hiring events where we invite anywhere from 150 to 250 candidates to each event. And we're able to take that ready-to-work candidate directly from the event, from application to job offer before they leave. So that has dramatically helped us to support our speed to hire. And that's made us competitive in the market. We also leverage a very strong employer brand. We use platforms like Glassdoor to really share our employee value proposition, storytell, and share with candidates why MGM is a great place to work. And it allows us to connect with a candidate that's a little more engaged with us in our brand, someone who's looking for a career versus just a job.
That's so important. Someone is looking for a career. And thank you for a shout out on Glassdoor, our sister company. I think that. Becky, I'm going to continue with the same line of questions. I know this conference, we've talked a lot about AI. AI is at the top of everyone's mind. I understand that. So with the volume of hiring that you are talking about, both of you actually are talking about that, how does AI help you?
I'm really excited about AI. I think our recruiters spend way too much of their time on administrative tasks. AI has the potential to really reduce that by letting us automate things like interview scheduling, mass hire screening, drafting emails. And if we can get our recruiters away from their desks doing that type of administrative work, then we can get them on the floor in the business, consulting with hiring managers, sourcing, engaging with candidates, the real valuable work that recruiters do. So I can't say enough how excited I am about the next couple of years and what AI brings to the industry.
Amazing, amazing to hear. And yes, those tasks do take up a lot of time. Same question for you, Jessica. How are you thinking about it? And particularly, I would like to hear a bit more about smart sourcing. I know I did a lot of talking on that, but I want to hear from you, how you are using it.
Smart sourcing has been awesome for our team. We particularly are using it for the high volume sales roles that we recruit for. And it's been a major time saver. We automatically get to match candidates with the high quality, candidates with our roles, which has been great. It's definitely streamlined our hiring process. On average, it's saved my team about 3 hours of work and has decreased our time to contact by about 10%. So it's been a really great tool for us.
That is amazing to hear, and truly, I hope both of you get to use AI more and more, which leads me to my final question. This truly, it's I would say a pivotal time in our industry. And there's a lot that's going on. You have plans for next year. You're thinking about using Indeed, hopefully. And tell us a little bit more about what's going on, Becky, in your planning for next year, how all of this will come together, and what do you want us to do better that'll help you?
Sure. I think for us next year, we're looking to shift from that high volume mass hire mindset to one of quality. We need to reduce turnover, increase retention, and we know that means quality hiring. We recognize that if we can get the hiring part right, everything else falls into place. And so that means quality candidates for our hiring managers to make better hiring decisions. We're also in the very infancy stage of skills-based hiring, so that'll be something that we're focused on for the next couple of years as well. From a support perspective, really we'd just like you to continue to provide the same level of support that we have. Our account team is phenomenal. Our manager that's connected to our account is almost an extension to our team, which is super valuable. He understands our business. He understands our industry, and so he's able to provide us with recommendations and insights that are very relevant to us. And the research and analytics that we get allow us to develop strategy. And just events like this, opportunities for us to get together with our peers and talk about what's going on in the industry are super valuable for us.
Thank you, and same question for you, Jessica. Well, just like Becky, I have a great partnership with our Indeed team. They really help shape our strategy. In 2025, we're going to have to get that same high volume of candidates with the focus on quality. We're going to have to probably do another 17,000 hires. So we'll continue using Indeed for the smart sourcing, definitely with our sponsored jobs, and just the market data to help keep us competitive in the marketplace.
I sure wish and hope for the best, and 17,000 more people gets hired. That's a big deal. We help more people get jobs. Thank you both. Really, really appreciated your time. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you. And thanks to all of you. I mean, this is not possible without you being here. So I have one last thing to share. Because of the investments that we have made, particularly in AI over the last year, analyst firm Frost & Sullivan, they have nominated Indeed as the most innovative company in the hiring platform space. Now, the next few years, and I mean it as a human being, as a father of a 18-year-old child, these are going to be an amazing, truly exciting times where we embrace new technology in ways that we have never done, ever, particularly AI, and that'll solve some of our biggest challenges. Now think about it. How much time do we spend in repetitive tasks on a daily basis? Trying to search for the right candidates, scheduling interviews, you heard from Becky, and answering the same questions over and over and over again. What if AI could do all of that for us? We're just beginning to truly beginning to tap into AI's strengths to make hiring simpler and faster. And also, at the same time, make hiring more human. Yeah, you heard me right. AI is going to make hiring more human, not less. It'll give us the time to focus on what really matters, the real people, the real connections that only we can make. Now, for those of you who are excited, like truly excited, at the possibilities that AI creates, that technology creates for us, let's visit TeamWorks in Dallas. That's downstairs. And also, for those of you who are online right now, you can just talk to your sales teams. So thank you to everyone here. Let's make this happen.